to do with it. So I'm going to kind of tie all that in together. So hang on a second. I've got to add something into a note here.
All right, we are live on Facebook and live on YouTube everywhere now.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Purser again. I'm going to keep introducing myself as we go to more channels. Tonight we're going to be talking about, hang on, I'll tell you because it's kind of a long name. MTHFR, glutathione, CBS, not the news station or television station, but CBS, the genetic SNP, B6 or pyridoxine, and the critical transsulfuration pathway. Like, what is this all about? Well, oh, hang on. Let me back up. Brecken is across from me. Say hi, Brecken.
Hey, guys.
Hey, and Jackson's over there to my right.
I am over here too, yes.
In Studio Purser on the top floor of our building, where we have a biotech and my medical office downstairs.
The top floor, floor 2. Awesome.
What? No, it's like 484.
Nice try.
We're trying to create imagery, Jackson. Not going along with me. Do you
Yes.
want to play your little thing you created? You're so proud of it.
Let's do the intro real quick.
A little proud intro for Jackson.
I just love playing it because then it shows us. Hello.
Do I wave too, or is it just you two?
You can wave too. You can always wave.
Okay. So Brecken, you're going to kick it off with questions.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
at least one question.
first, why don't you say it again? Because what is transsulfuration? I don't even know.
Transsulfuration is moving sulfur groups around. So you're trying to convert. The transsulfuration pathway is about converting homocysteine, which is incredibly inflammatory. Probably the worst inflammatory molecule in your body next to radioactive iodine or something like that, or a flaming lava chip or something. But it's the most inflammatory cardiovascular and it's just bad. It causes vascular inflammation like crazy. And you're converting it to the best thing in your body, which is glutathione. So if people have low glutathione levels on their intracellular testing, and we see it all the time, they have probably some problem with their transsulfuration pathway. The CBS SNP is a big part of it. It's the gateway in a number of ways to entering the transsulfuration pathway and making it work. It's powered by B6 or pyridoxine, really critical. Can you post one of those transsulfuration pathways, the one that shows it, the one with the pink, homocysteine to cysteine to glutathione?
Yeah, I can't post it like in the comments, but we can post it on.
Later?
Yeah.
Okay, later. So it'll come up. And you guys have seen my posts on Facebook. Did they see any of those on TikTok?
Not quite. We'll have to do other posts for it or stories.
Okay. I don't even know what that means.
That's okay.
What is TikTok? Okay, well, let's not get into that. Clearly, it's not for my generation. I don't know most doctors even know what TikTok is. Maybe if they're in their 20s or 30s, they might know. Jared knows.
I think people know what TikTok is.
I know what it kind of is. I just don't know what it does.
It's just another social media platform.
I get that, but I don't know how you use social media eyes on it.
Well, you're doing right
Or
now.
you social mediate. Yeah, I don't even know why anyone, since I don't know what it is, why does anyone follow me on there? I don't quite get it. I mean, I'm a doctor. I'm an MD, not a, I don't know. I'm pretending to be a naturopath a lot, which is really fun. But okay, so it's bad. If you can't convert homocysteine to glutathione, bad things happen.
Yeah.
When I was state geriatric medical director for a number of years, I took over a lot of nursing homes in my time, and he had to follow all these laws, make sure the regulations were followed perfectly. Usually they weren't being followed. That's when I was called in and brought in to make sure I followed all the laws perfectly, so they could pass surveys and stuff like that. All these big nursing homes in Salt Lake, in Utah County, and I'm sure everywhere in the state had a room or two with anywhere from 4 to 16 younger women in those rooms that had stroked out, that had had severe strokes. They were in mostly vegetative state.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just all contracted, and it was just horrible. And their husbands would come in with their 4 little kids. These are women in their 20s and 30s.
So young.
And no one knew why they'd had strokes. So one thing I found out was that almost all of them, I mean, this is Utah, so 85% of the population we think has MTHFR. And I think all those women probably had transsulfuration problems because they all had super high homocysteine levels. And almost all of them had been on birth control pills at one time or another. You have bad MTHFR, you have bad transsulfuration pathway problems, and you take birth control pills, you're in trouble.
Yeah, big time.
So, yeah. And so it'd be so sad because these husbands would bring I remember this one bring his 4 little kids in. Mom couldn't even talk to him or anything. She just broke my heart every time. I'm not going to cry, but it was hard to watch. It was really sad. So these 4 little kids kind of crying by their mom. Every Sunday the guy'd come in.
Yeah.
God. So, and I was determined to figure out why.
And you think birth control pills was partially a part of that?
Yeah, they give you a 250% increased risk in stroke risk, and on average, that's pretty high. Breast cancer risk too, same thing, same percentage. It's high.
Yeah.
You add in transsulfuration problems and a high homocysteine level, you get a much higher risk.
Man.
At the end of this, if you look down, I did some PubMed searches, homocysteine and stroke. On PubMed, just search those 2 words, 17,363 articles.
A lot.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Homocysteine and myocardial infarction, or MI, or heart attack, 9,771 articles. What they don't say is these are in young people. So if you've known someone in their 20s or 30s who had a stroke or a heart attack and hadn't done anything else, just lived a normal life, I'm really serious about them not doing anything else. I'm going to say what the other thing is they hadn't done, but but most of you guys can figure it out because you're in tune, you're awake. But yeah, it's homocysteine is the problem.
Yeah.
They'll have a high homocysteine level. Doctors hardly ever check it. So if you do have a CBS error on your NutriHacker or a GGH error, go look for those, GGH, SNP, or a CBS SNP. Go look and get a homocysteine level. You can use that Direct Labs link on my website and order it yourself if your doctor won't order it because he doesn't know what it is and he's not going to order witchcraft. No, it's a cardiovascular inflammatory molecule. For example, homocysteine and cerebral vascular accident, or CVA, 17,424 articles. That's pretty much similar to a stroke. That's why they're kind of both high. Homocysteine and pyridoxine, or B6, 2,344 articles. If you have a high homocysteine level, there's a really good likelihood you have a really low B6 level. Now, you can't go slamming and taking a ton of B6. You can get toxic on it, so you got to be careful. You got to know you have that intracellular deficiency. And then you take P5P. You take small doses of B6. Just beware. You can't get toxic. It's rare. I've seen 2 patients with it. It causes a lot of neuropathic stuff. And is, I don't know, it's debatable whether they had it or not, but they got better when they stopped taking excess B6.
Is there, what is like a normal homocysteine level?
It varies according to lab equipment, usually below 9.
Okay.
But yeah, it varies according to the lab equipment. So anyway, sorry, I'm blathering on about this. Real
quick, I think just to do a very good base for everyone, like what is glutathione? Why is it important? And then we can really understand the genetics behind why you need glutathione in your body.
And a lot of people just can't make much of it too clearly because of genetic SNPs they have, genetic errors or mutations that they're not mutations, they're really transcription errors, but they've been passed down from their parents and from their ancestors. So glutathione is the most potent super antioxidant in your body, by far and away. It's been one of those pharmacologic problems how to make a functional glutathione forever. I mean, for probably 50, 60 years, people have tried to make a functional glutathione. And we were the first to do it, so I know a lot about glutathione. And it's it removes toxins. It's how you remove viruses. Extremely important for viruses, EBV, HIV, stuff like that. All of them, all the major ones you've heard of in the last few years. Critical for antiviral work. All kinds of good articles have come out in the last year or two about how important it is. If you have a low glutathione level and get some viral infections, you're dead. So you do not want to have a low glutathione level or you will die.
How do you test for glutathione level?
You can get serum levels. We actually do intracellular stuff. It's in that intracellular panel we use. So glutathione, white blood cells, ceruloplasmin, which I talked about, I think, last Facebook Live, because ceruloplasmin and white blood cells use it like a spear to grab things, to poke things, like white blood, like viruses, metals, all kinds of stuff. You know, and they stick the sticky end, which smells funky, smells sulfury. Yeah. And we have our new version coming out, which is mango peach, which is really good. You've tried it.
Oh, yeah. So much better.
Jackson, you've tried it. I know you've tried it.
You've tried it.
Yeah, no, the flavor is
We've
great.
all tried it. Yeah, it's crazy.
It'll be wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot better. Not the tart, tangy.
Lemon peppermint.
Lemon peppermint. That was the only flavor we could figure out that kind of worked with it for a while. The mango peach really masks the sulfury taste. It's quite good. Tastes like a mango peach milkshake, in my opinion.
Ooh.
But that should be out in the next week or so, for sure. Week or so.
Yeah, hopefully the next couple weeks. We'll see.
Yeah, debatable. So that is critical for removing toxins. If you can't produce glutathione or you're low in it, number one, you probably won't be listening. If you're severely low or can't produce it, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You'd be dead. So you're making some. We have a lot of redundancy built into our genetic system, our body, our physiologies. So even if one area is broken, another area kind of will work. So you can never be completely without it, because if you were completely without it, you're dead. So glutathione is really critical. It's what all other antioxidants serve in your body. They all bow to it. They all want to help it work better. Like the second most potent antioxidant, superoxide dismutase, which we also have patents on formulating that and stuff, or patent applications, actually. They're in process. We'll be awarded them, we're pretty sure. So, the third most important super antioxidant is lipoic acid, or alpha lipoic acid. And what it mainly does all day long is serve glutathione and SOD to reduce them. So it's going to constantly take it from oxidized garbage state to reduction. So, and anyway, the transsulfuration pathway is how your body gets rid of homocysteine. It converts it into glutathione. It uses cysteine to convert it to glutathione and B6, and works some magic. You can see you'll see the diagrams. Go look at my posts. Go look at our Facebook or our TikTok story that we're going to post. Is that right?
Yep.
Story, yes.
Good job.
Yeah. So, is that a good enough explanation? You understand? Do they understand?
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know if I understand. I mean, I have a better grasp than most.
So essentially, with transsulfuration, it's a pathway.
It's a pathway.
That helps you break down
homocysteine,
which is bad if you have high levels because it causes stroke and other
massive strokes, heart attacks.
So
cancer,
cardiovascular kind of
it's
issues.
It's incredibly inflammatory. It causes Yeah, it has some really bad symptoms if you're super high in it.
But a lot of people have errors in their transsulfuration pathways, essentially, where they're not actually breaking it down properly.
Yeah, if you're homozygous CBS or double homozygous CBS like that NuTracker page I showed you today that you're going to post,
Yep.
they're doubles, kind of not a great copy, but it works. It was done on the fly, literally. So yeah, transsulfuration pathway won't work. It won't work. So you will not be able to convert homocysteine to glutathione.
What are some smaller symptoms that people could have that could be causing high homocysteine? Because I know, like, worst case is stroke, or like those people.
Oh, that could be caused by homocysteine.
Yeah.
You feel like you have inflammation all over it. Bad. It feels like arthritis, but it's not.
So a lot of pain.
Oh yeah, it's bad pain.
Okay.
So I had a patient with a severe B6 deficiency, severe, like absolute almost. It was crazy. She was so sick and crippled by her pain, and now she's not.
Wow.
So because she had massively high homocysteine level. Great, you have tons of pain, then you die from a stroke or heart attack.
So sad.
And you're 28. I mean, yeah, she was in her 20s. She didn't die though.
Yeah.
She's fine now. So.
That's good.
But yeah, because the low or super low B6 level. And the only way I know, that's pyridoxine, by the way. The only way I know you'd be able to get that is through that intracellular testing.
Cool.
You can get serum levels, but they're just not accurate in this venue, this milieu.
With what you need to look at.
Not what, they do me no good. Serum levels, nip. So don't send them. But intracellular, cool. As far as I know, the cell science system, CMA is the only, SpectraCell, but this is just a lot more, in my opinion, accurate, allegedly more accurate, a lot more accurate in my alleged opinion, that's what it's worth, and cheaper and a lot more results. So I always look at B6 levels differently. This is to teach me more about transsulfuration pathways, too. It's why I do this kind of stuff, because I learn more when I talk about it. So the whole goal of all this genetic testing, really, and supplementation, despite all the genetic snips with which we're born and stuff, or you're born, is to make you feel normal, just to let you be normal. That means you live each day without excessive fatigue or being tired, without nagging pain somewhere, anywhere, or everywhere. Like the girl with the super low B6 level, impacting her transsulfuration pathway. Yeah. And at the end of the day, sleeping blissfully and deeply. I mean, that's what everyone wants. So I do that now because I have no vitamin deficiencies right now. And I feel really good. I feel really solid. I feel normal. I don't know how we're kids and I didn't have a bunch of vitamin. I'm sure I did. I just didn't know it. All people really want is an optimal life most days. And you say most people don't want to have a devastating stroke at 28. I'd say no one wants that.
No.
So and this transsulfuration pathway is just one very critical corner of the whole methylation jungle or milieu or plantation or map that we can biohack. So that's why we're kind of digging deep into it tonight, just to see if you guys like this kind of deep dive stuff on MTHFR. There are some other major spokespeople on MTHFR. You guys know who they are. I mean, they're published books. They have products out there. They talk about their what all they do. They neither one of the two big ones I can think of right offhand. They hate CBS SNPs. Well, so do I. Mm-hmm. So because if you're homozygous, you're hammered. On either or double homozygous, you're really hammered. It doesn't matter. We're so hammered with just one. It doesn't really matter if you have two. So, if you have a severe B6 deficiency, you're hammered.
Yeah.
So.
We're getting a couple of questions, or we're just getting this over and over. Is injectable better than pill form when taking glutathione? Or why don't you explain to them what?
No, it's both. They're both oxidized. No, unless they follow our patent, they can't, because it's a patent violation. We'll go after them. But unless they follow our patent, it's oxidized garbage.
Because the key to glutathione is for it to stay unoxidized.
It's got to stay
so
reduced.
It's reduced.
Yeah, And being injectable in a syringe with air in it,
Doesn't
you
work.
don't know the water they mixed it in was not air free. It's worthless, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
So,
that's why you made VAR's glutathione.
yeah,
That was the whole point of it.
It's got a nitrogen argon gas purge. It has no air in the water in it. We protect it from the beginning. It's reduced all the way through. We get it from Japan in sealed bag. It's a complex process, but that's our patent.
Yep.
So
VAR's glutathione is from Physician Designed. You can find
I'm
it
the
on
physician who designed it.
Yes, exactly. You can find it on TikTok Shop. It's definitely there, or on the Physician Designed website, or other places online. You got to look for it. We are currently sold out on TikTok and potentially on Physician Designed, unless you have a subscription.
Yeah.
Our inventory is being built out right now. We're hoping to get it back very soon, but otherwise,
Very soon.
you'll hear about it as soon as we have it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
for those videos.
It
Yeah,
is,
because I take it too.
Yep.
I want to get my hand on a bottle. It's bad.
Bad.
Or I just may kill over. You never know.
You need it.
I need it. My elasticity is kind of low in it, which shocked me. So it's a lot of stress we deal with.
Yeah.
I had donated blood like 2 weeks before that. Okay. So did you have more questions? Or we're just babbling along here?
I need to
You got to look at those diagrams I put up on the Transsulfuration Pathway. Look at my posts on Facebook about this whole little Facebook Live.
Are there other deficiencies that will also cause problems with the
Oh, big time. Yeah, on our cellular micronutrient assay, it's really intracellular. I don't know, they call it cellular, but it's intracellular. You might have significant deficiency of B6, which I already talked about, or glutathione, that's the end result. Or glycine, here's the ones that will hurt you. Glycine, glutamine, methionine, or serine. So there's 9 essential amino acids, which you can only get through your diet. Just to name them real quick: histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. And tryptophan is really interesting because it affects your ability. You make serotonin and melatonin from tryptophan. So if you're low in tryptophan, you can't make serotonin or melatonin. You'll be depressed and you'll have insomnia. So you'll be grumpy and tired all the time.
Wow.
So, but the 11 non-essential amino acids, meaning you create them in your body, are alanine, arginine, asparagine, aspartic acid, cysteine, glutamic acid, glutamine, glycine, proline, serine, and tyrosine. So the 4 of those that are really critical for the transsulfuration pathway, they're all non-essential. They're cysteine or NAC. They're glutamine, glycine, or serine. If you're low in any of those, your transsulfuration pathway is screwed up because it'll suck up every one of those it can. If you're sick, if you need more glutathione, all that, it kicks into high gear. Like you have a viral inflammatory process going on, or some type of toxin you've taken or you drank too much the night before or that night, too much alcohol, and imbibe too many fun liquids. And yeah, they're not that fun, I think. For most
Interesting enough, multiple of the amino acids and the B6 that you've been talking about can also be found in our other products.
I put them in there for a reason.
Exactly. The MTHFR products and the copper balance
Yeah.
are all designed to help with exactly those deficiencies, to help the transsulfuration pathway.
Well,
and help
copper
all the
balance is
MTHFR
designed to help with the ceruloplasmin functionality, the copper zinc metallothionein, and the transsulfuration pathway.
Yeah, so those products are there. If you are looking for those amino acids specifically, if you're on TikTok,
and a little bit of B6 is all right.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're on TikTok, go look at the Dan Purser MD TikTok shop. Right there, the copper balance product is exactly what we're talking about. In the meantime, yeah, definitely. Someone was just asking about your thoughts on CoQ10 as well. We just had a video post this morning about you talking about brain support with CoQ10 and PQQ, all that fun stuff.
I was low. I was super low in CoQ10 and the CMA I did before this last one. I had the worst brain fog. It causes really bad brain fog when you're super low in CoQ10. I'd get waves of being tired. by lunchtime I was usually worn out, but when I got up in the morning I was worn out. But and so I'd been low in 4 different tests. I wasn't low in this last one. First time I haven't been low, but I was taking 20 a day of the mega Qunol, and not something we're affiliated with or make, but you get it at Walmart, not Costco.
It's sometimes there.
I've seen it once or twice, but it's usually not. Yeah. Or Amazon, Mega Qunol.
Yeah.
And they have an Ultra Qunol. Don't get that one. Get the Mega Qunol.
It's red, right?
Yeah, the bottle itself is cherry red. If you want to know if you're low in CoQ10, because you get bad brain fog and massive fatigue, and your heart gets tired and everything else, go to Walmart, grab a bottle, get out to your car, have a bottle of water with you, take 5. By the time you drive home, if you're not tired and the fatigue and the weird brain fog is gone, you were low in CoQ10. Keep doing that. So I was taking 2 to begin with. I always take it because of everything I'm on. And it's just for good heart health and stuff like that. But if you're taking a statin or you take oral thyroid medication, I don't know why I say oral. There's no other way to take thyroid. Mm-hmm. You can't take a shot of it or an IV of it or liquid. Rub it on. Can't do that. So oral's the only option. You should take ubiquinol or megacunol or one of those, some variant of that. But I think megacunol is the best one out there for the money. So I was taking 2. I had that result first come back a year and a half ago. I started taking 4, thinking I'd really done it, doubled it. Wow. Came back a third time, low again, but just they were moderately low. I started on 8 a day, came back a 4th time, low again, severely low this time. It was getting lower, not getting better. And I felt it. I was also doing like 300 push-ups every day and trying to run 4 or 5 miles, stuff like that, or walk 4 or 5 miles every night and stuff. And I was worn out, plus doing all the work, running these, helping with these companies I started and seeing patients all day long. So I would take 8 in the morning, and then at lunch, if I was feeling brain foggy, tired, 5 more. Well, 4 or 5 more. By evening before I drove home, I'd be so exhausted, I'd take 4 more. And when I got home, I'd just kind of crawl into the house because, I was exhausted. I'd take 4 more. So I was taking 20 a day. I did that for about 3 weeks. I thought, I got to get ahead of this. So I did. I battled through it. I feel really good now. I'm still taking about 12 or 14 a day. Good grief. I emptied every Walmart around here from their Mega I buy 4 bottles a month off Amazon. But you know what? I feel good. I feel normal. I can work. So I don't. Yeah, CoQ10 is complicated because it's the last coenzyme in the energy pathway. And if you're deficient in anything, amino acids, vitamins, anything, you'll have a low CoQ10 level. And I keep having a lot of deficiencies because of surgeries, stem cells in my knee, which is like getting good cancer in your knee, and everything else I've been through. So yeah.
So I want to just talk for a minute about the purpose behind what we actually do. There's so many times we get people with the same or very similar symptoms of depression, anxiety, chronic fatigue, like there's never been
over
before.
and over.
And we see that same pattern in so many different people, and then we see the same deficiencies in the same people as well.
I think the future of psychiatry, for example, is probably going to be intracellular vitamin testing if they can get the claws of the drug companies out of medicine. I don't know. I can't get them out of medicine. There's no way. And they serve their purpose. And all these medications are good bridges or Band-Aids until you can figure out the real problem. So, like, for example, if you're low in tryptophan, you're going to have depression and insomnia. Well, that's depression. That's what they say it all the time. Well, you're depressed, Bob. Well, yeah, Bob is depressed, but it's because his tryptophan level is low. Mm-hmm. So I kept doing that too. I went from 500 to, I take 1,500 milligrams of tryptophan a night now.
Wow.
And that's just the way it is. But I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
So when you talk about deficiencies, you're really talking about intracellular deficiencies, the vitamin, mineral, amino acid levels inside of cells, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I look at
Mhm.
because that's affected by your genetics.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they understand that, but yeah, it's a whole different deal. And your NutriHacker Complete matches up really well with your deficiencies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The things you see on that, inevitably you're going to show up on your CMA, your intracellular micronutrient panel.
And so, yeah, just that. The CMA micronutrient assay, this test is available on your website, is the easiest place to order it. Or give our office a call and talk with our front staff down there. They're excellent to help answer your questions and walk through the very first steps. But that's what you do. You get this testing done on people, and then you help them get onto the right nutrition, whether supplements and food and other things, to support their deficiencies and their genetics.
Yeah, and some of them have had it 10, 20, 30 years. They felt horrible. Can you imagine living that life? What was
My phone just went off.
Brooklyn? You can take that outside.
Well, I have to be on it for TikTok.
So it cracked me up. Yeah, so yeah, that kind of sounded salesy, but I guess that's your job, huh?
Oh, it's not salesy. It's just people are asking
Education.
about this right now, so I'm trying to help them understand
Oh.
what these first steps are. The test itself is a blood draw test, which we can send the kit directly to you, and you can have the blood drawn wherever you're at. We can help align even a blood draw station near you or a phlebotomist, anyone near you. It just the sample itself has to be FedExed, overnighted back to the lab in Texas
Orlando,
or in Florida.
Orlando, Florida.
And
He
so,
goes right to Disney World. I don't know if Mickey touches it or not, but yeah, it goes right there, right near there. They can throw a stone. They can throw a empty vial of their testing stuff and throw it right at Disney World and probably bounce it off the fence. So.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but yeah, so
Well, still science systems. So.
oh, it's right there in Orlando, sure. So the testing itself, though, we can send it anywhere in the U.S., and we just found out it can actually go to Canada.
Yeah, I can go to
And
Canada.
be
now.
overnighted back.
Awesome.
It can't go to Australia.
No, but here in North America, Canada and the U.S., anywhere, if you want to get this kind of testing done, you can. And then you have the great opportunity to work through telemed with Dr.
This is
Purser.
vitamins. Sorry. Guess what? I don't even need to be licensed anything to talk to you about vitamins. So, but I am a licensed MD. I even have malpractice insurance of everything. Have an office of everything. Only been doing this 37 years. But yeah, so I can talk to you about your vitamins. And we make you up a guide, really detailed, where you get them, how you order them off Amazon or wherever. But almost all of it's off Amazon. So you can just order them.
Yeah.
And get on your vitamins, how many to take every day, what the dose will be, and how long to take them. It's usually 100 days to correct these really well. But by about 5 to 6 weeks, you're feeling it. And you know, people are pretty astounded by 5 to 6 weeks. At 10 weeks, the halfway mark, it should be really obvious. Or if not, then I adjust a lot at that point. In the past, I think I've undertreated a lot of people. I don't do that anymore. I hate you hard. You're going to be taking 4 a day of that bad boy, 3 of that other one. Because they're your worst deficiencies.
Yeah.
So the severe deficiencies we go after.
Yep. So just kind of bringing everything back around, it's through the results of this testing that you're able to see in the thousands throughout your patients and over the years, you're able to see very specific vitamin deficiencies that correlated directly with certain genetics, whether that was MTHFR, the CBS, NAT2 errors, all these different
Or
errors,
fibro, stuff like that.
You saw all these things, and that's what you were able to design products and design protocols around it.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what the physician design supplement brand is, are products designed specifically for these intracellular deficiencies.
Yeah, I see it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's amazing. MTHFR, I've already been through that. Gives you a set of vitamin deficiencies almost every time, over and over. And they're virgin tests, meaning if no one's taking a vitamin at all or supplement, those are the best ones to get. But it doesn't matter if you're taking stuff. It's still, I'm going to look for whatever you got going on. We'll figure it out.
I think that's a really good point that so many people and so many doctors talk about. If you Google just like, are supplements actually effective? there may be many articles that say it's been known that most supplements don't really have any effect.
Yeah.
And in many cases, that's absolutely true because someone's genetics, someone's gut bacteria can't properly process and absorb those vitamins.
Right.
And so that's where this kind of testing...
Or they don't have that deficiency.
Or they don't have that deficiency, sure.
Yeah.
And so that's
I
where
mean,
this
if
kind
you
of
don't have a
testing-
vitamin C deficiency, you can take all the vitamin C you want. It's not going to help.
Yeah, your body's already saturated with it. It's
Doesn't
not
need
what
it.
it needs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Though I have seen 4 cases of scurvy.
It's interesting.
Gums bleeding. They look like pirates. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Sounds like a joke,
in your,
but I think it's real.
It's real. Yeah. Severe vitamin. It's funny they'd been to endodontists, periodontists, infectious disease guys, culture in their mouth. Why do you have these sores in there, Bob? Oh, Bob doesn't know why he has the sores, but he's really exhausted and it hurts all over because it affects your connective tissue. Having a really bad vitamin C deficiency makes you really achy, and your teeth all fall out. Wow. And the periodontists are clueless. They think every one of them got referred to me because they thought it was low estradiol stuff. There's nothing, their estradiol was low, but it's because their vitamin C was low. So,
Pretty crazy.
So some people, they're asking about pricing for testing and for
They go to the
consults to
website
see.
and look all that.
It's all on Dan Purser MD. Just look it up online.
And we pretty much do it almost at cost.
Yeah.
Even we give you a discount on my first visit. I'm just trying to help you.
We do it bundles with testing and consultations,
Yeah,
so
it
keep an
saves
eye
you
out for
$100
that.
to a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I'm not. It's funny because I had that friend come up, him from Austin, came up. He has his 5 men's clinics in Austin. Great, I love the guy to death. He's like, you've written 30 books, you've got all these numbers, you speak all over the world, you educate all these doctors, you do all this stuff. You should be charging $5,000 for the first visit and $2,500 for follow-ups. I think after I crawled up off the floor after I passed out, I was like, this is Utah. Are you kidding me? No. And my patients would hang me from the flagpole out front. So I don't think so.
So you charge $4,995.
Yeah, I charge a little less than that. No. Like the first visit with that vitamin panel, if you get, it's $150 really for a half hour of my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the whole point of what we do through this clinic is we want to help people. Again, we've really tapped into something so unique. It's basically an algorithm of what deficiencies you have, what genetics you have, what supplementation you need, and boom, you get better.
Start there first.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put you on the same neuropathic meds, antidepressants, everything else that other doctors can, but I'm probably not going to opt for that. I'm going to try and get below that and get to your genetics and the vitamin deficiency they cause. That's how those genetic SNPs or errors that you've received, those transcription errors that have been passed down to you, that's how they affect you. They cause vitamin deficiencies. They cause you to feel horrible and start slowly dying because you have these severe vitamin deficiencies caused by your genetics. So some of them, it's going to be an uphill battle forever. You're going to always be on B3 or B2 riboflavin or B1 thiamine because you have genetic SNPs that require extra amounts of it. So or extra D3 if you have VDR TAC, which is a common Northern European D3 error that requires a lot of D3. I usually max people out at 10,000 units a day, and you can take 100,000, it won't affect that VDR level. You'll never have a good D3 level.
It just won't.
You just got to keep it flowing through your system.
Yeah. When it comes to genetic testing, a lot of people have had a 23andMe done over the years with the health.
Yeah, you get a NutriHacker Complete for $37.
Yep.
Go to the NutriHacker.com website. The next day, when they send that to you, those afterwards, an hour after, or at least maybe even 24 hours after, they'll send you the NutriHacker Complete imputed version. I want that one. Send that PDF. If you want me to look at it for you and pay me for a visit, please, because otherwise I hate looking at those. I've looked at 15,000 of those. They're a brain strain.
They are.
Even one of them takes me 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go through it. But it's much easier than trying to go through a 23andMe. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's a compiler for 23andMe. Send that to us at info@danpursermd.com, and I'll look at it.
I think
And then we'll talk.
this is another good question.
But I'd get the CMA before I got that.
Yeah.
I get the vitamin panel.
It's just if you already have it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but still, I'm still going to say this is great.
But it's
But
not
if you
enough.
feel like you do, you need the CMA because otherwise I'm kind of guessing off this. And though this is pretty confirmatory, I have some pretty good ideas, and we'll send you a guide on that too. But if you really want to get better, get the CMA, get the vitamin panel.
Yeah. With testing, you don't recommend stopping your current supplement regimen, right?
No,
Don't need
keep
to.
going.
Yeah.
It won't change anything.
Just make note of what you're on so that you can discuss that with them further.
Yeah, I want to see everything you're on. I'll
Yeah.
go through it.
Yeah.
Most of them I'll tell you to stop because I'm putting you on 43 other vitamins because you're really deficient, and you're going to hate life for about, 3 months because you're going to be chugging down 43 vitamins every day. Wow.
You think he's joking, but
I'm not joking.
you guys are going to get used
You'll hate me by the time we're done, but you know what? You'll feel better, and you'll leave me this blasting, awesome Google review. Read my Google reviews if you want to see what I do with this, please. I've never read one. I guess I should, but
You
I
say
hear
that
they're
every
pretty good.
time. It's time for you to look at your Google reviews.
well, I hear they're like patients tell me people want to see me are like, you have like 500 plus 5-star Google reviews. I'm like, is that good? I don't even know if that's good.
It's pretty good.
I need water. Talking too much. Any other good questions?
Someone had a good question about taking vitamin K and vitamin D after having a heart attack and a stent put in. What are their options for that? I know we've done full Facebook Lives and other podcasts on
Fish
that
oil.
topic. Yeah.
You want a really good one like Dysfunction, the Megavel Ultra or Megavel Synergy. You need a good fish oil, number one. Number two, you want to get on niacin, a controlled release therapeutic niacin. Again, I like the Designs for Health stuff. That's what I take. 1,500 milligrams a day. Stents. That's a touchy subject. Stents.
Again, you've done a full podcast exactly on this before, so look up Dan Purser MD and stents, and that should bring up things on YouTube and other places. I'm
probably sure I made enemies, but I don't care. Cardiologists hate me, I think. I'm pretty sure they do. The cardiology's done more to improve medical care than any other specialty. It's
That's
amazing.
fascinating.
Ophthalmologists are pretty amazing, but man, cardiologists, they've come so far in the last 50 years. It's crazy. So stents are not one of their better things, though. Stents don't work.
No.
Okay, I'll just leave it right there. Okay. Supposedly they don't work. Allegedly.
Ooh, kind of change the topic, but people do ask about progesterone and BRCA genes and other things. So that's one of Dr. Purser's number one topics. Go look up any of his past videos, and
We designed a number of progesterone products for various companies.
You'll find hours of content and books on
Days.
progesterone. Yeah.
Yeah, my progesterone book, you can get on Kindle, has been number one overall on Amazon 3 times. So it's still a great seller. We love getting the little pennies from that every month. So I don't know how many books I've got on there, but progesterone's really good. My thyroid book, No More Cold Hand, Cold Feet, was number one for several months. So
Yeah. For everyone on TikTok, if Dr. Purser is new to you, just look him up online. I mean, there's years and years of content of everything he's been educating people around the world about. There's so much fun content and so many interesting things. There's books, there's videos, there's courses. And then we love doing these live podcasts, just being able to interact directly with everyone and hear your questions and hear your thoughts and stories as well. And so if you want us to talk about certain things, if you want Dr. Purser to cover certain topics, always just email the office or comment in all of the comments everywhere. Yeah. We see it, and we want to help educate people on these things.
Now we're going to post. Brecken's going to post a page of
post some stories.
A NutriHacker imputed. That I just reviewed this week. And the lady happened to be double homozygous CBS. Wow. Double homozygous CBS. Her transsulfuration pathway will never work. It doesn't work. It can't work. This will leave her. So the next thing I'm going to talk to her about, She doesn't know it's her. She doesn't even know I've reviewed it, but she thinks maybe she thinks I have, but I review about 40 of those a week. She it's going to leave her always with a very high homocysteine level. There's nowhere for it to go. It cannot be broken down, and almost no glutathione for detoxification. Being homozygous on just one of those will pretty much do the same, but both, wow, that's crazy. I see those occasionally, but yeah. So if you have a super high homocysteine level, you want to figure out what your transsulfuration pathway is doing. Look at your CBS, CSC, all that on NutriHacker. See if they're up there. So CBS will cause a lot of inflammation because you'll have a super high homocysteine level. Or if you have a severe B6 deficiency, that's another way to get there. So, hope all this has helped. Just another part of the methylation pathway. So I think we beat this dead horse now. I've been talking about it all week on Facebook, on my videos. Are there any other good questions?
Another question about the testing we offer, the top tier versus the cheaper tiers of the testing, the CMAs, if you want to run through those.
If you just want the CMA, it looks at 48 vitamins, which is a lot more than SpectraCell looks at. And it's just a lot more sensitive and accurate. It's cheaper too, a lot cheaper than SpectraCell. The CMA with the redox, that looks at 52 antioxidants. Really, for 150 more, you can get 52 antioxidants. Some of them are not medical. Really, some of them I don't even connect with, like your wild cherry bark level. I don't care what your wild cherry bark level is.
What? Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why not. But it's not a naturally medically occurring human physiology produced substance. You get it from a cherry bark or a cherry tree. Scrape the bark off with a knife, a Bowie knife, and chew on it. Or you can probably get it in capsules, I'm sure. But some of those are not medical, but it's still really handy. So if you can afford the whole thing for 150 more, please get the redox panel, because it's just a lot more vitamins, and it tells me what your antioxidants are, how reduced they are, how oxidized they are, and that's the same as the deficiency. If they're super oxidized garbagey, that means you're really low in production of it anyway, and something's going wrong with your recycling. It looks at glutathione to do that. It looks at zinc. You can have a normal zinc level, but a super low oxidized level of zinc. So, I want to see all that. If you have complex medical issues that no one can figure out, especially inflammatory issues where you're really suffering, let me start with basic. Go back to I don't know what's going on with you. I'll just know I'll start with the basics. Mm-hmm. That's what you do, and you work up from there. Most doctors start at the top, and I just think they should. I don't know. The guy I did research with in California felt the same way, and he was the U.S. Assistant Surgeon General. Start at the bottom, go deep.
Gotta dig.
Yeah, go digging into the basics first. So that's where I learned all this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just one more time for people. We got a couple more people asking about effective glutathiones. VARS glutathione. It's okay. We get people coming in.
So we've done a lot of research on the side for fun. It's one of those math equations, like those math equations that no one can ever solve. Glutathione was that to pharmacologists. Just no one had ever figured out how to do it. And for 60 years, it's been a problem that pharmacologists after pharmacists after pharmacologists after pharmacists have tried to figure it out. No one's been able to successfully figure it out. They tried
so when you say
L-glutathione. They tried making acetylglutathione. Those are artificial. They don't work.
Yeah. So what you mean by that is, in the very controlled experiments of a lab, where all the factors of everything can be taken into account 100%,
right,
they can play with reduced glutathione in a deoxygenated environment, meaning there's no oxygen in whatever little system that they're using. And so with that, they can see all the ways that glutathione should be working to interact with certain genes,
Right.
to detox certain certain.
Oh, they can
chemicals,
see it in
certain
the
things.
body do it.
And so they can see it in very, very controlled ways. But then when they go to use a glutathione in the body with someone through a supplement, through IV, through anything, glutathione is so reactive that it always oxidizes. It loses its reduced and
It's
functional
oxidized
form.
before they even get it.
Exactly. And so
IV glutathione, it's going through tubing filled with air. It's going in what's in water with air in it.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
It'll oxidize with the air. Most of these super antioxidants oxidize immediately. They're super antioxidants. They're extremely aggressive. They'll grab any air near you or oxygen near you and oxidize. Water, yeah, is H2O, but that's tight H2O. You can't separate it very readily away.
but there's the free floating oxygen in water. That's what
That's
people
the
don't
problem,
think
or
about.
air, or the air,
Yeah.
nitrogen and oxygen. So yeah, so bars. So I had rules when we were trying to develop our functional, the first and only functional glutathione on the planet. We had to be validatable. No glutathione product had ever had a validation, meaning showed that it could work. Not a successful validation. They may have done it, but they never posted it because it obviously didn't work. So it had to be proven through validation. Obviously, had to be absorbable, either orally or topically. It couldn't just be IV or injectable. That's not very user friendly. I want it to be widely user friendly. Had to be reduced. So this is VARs, VAR, reduced all the time until used. So it had to be readily available. And when it gets into your skin or your system, it's still reduced. And such a flood of it is getting in that it can't oxidize until you use it. Because a lot of people can't recycle glutathione properly or make it.
And so that is exactly where the problem lies. Some people may take any form of glutathione and have some effect over a long period of time.
Yeah, slowly.
Your levels will slowly
6 months,
increase.
yeah, they have studies.
There are studies
6
showing
months,
that.
wow, it increased your level 2%. That's great.
But then glutathione handled through a system, exactly like you just described, can have that same effect in someone.
A system that we have a patent on.
Yes, literally within hours.
Yeah.
The detoxification process.
Within 30 minutes.
Yes,
You'll feel it.
and people feel it, and that's the difference of a truly functional glutathione versus one that works extremely slowly over time by just increasing huge levels of it over time. It's not effective. It's not effective.
So yeah, and the last part, S, you didn't let me finish that. S is for stable, shelf stable.
Yep.
Had to have a shelf life, had to be sellable in a bottle, had to be stable for use so you can carry it around, stuff like that. VARS, VARS, validated, absorbable, reduced, stable.
Yeah, and so with VARS glutathione, you take it for a couple days, and you have those effects for days, for weeks after.
Yeah.
And that's really the promise and the what's so cool about
I think
it.
that what most people feel, oddly enough, it's not supposed to get into your brain, which I'm crying BS on that. They feel mental clarity. It's pretty obvious. If your glutathione level is low, you use it, it kind of like, the first time I used it is like cool blue water rushing through my brain. It was like, oh man, like a cold breeze blew through my brain. It felt really different. It really cooled me off. It was crazy. And I had mental clarity like nuts.
Yeah.
So that's because they showed up with a low glutathione level on SpectraCell.
Yeah.
So,
Someone keeps asking about how they can lower cholesterol levels. I know you have several great pieces of content about that too, so I'd suggest to just go look up Dan Purser, MD, and cholesterol, and you'll find multiple
trying to
resources
naturally
on
increase
that.
your, I don't know, so the guy I worked with, who's the U.S. Assistant Surgeon General, pituitary endocrinologist, is also board certified cardiologist. And he was super smart and great guy, and a U.S. Assistant Surgeon General from Harvard, NIH, all that. Anyway, he had this opinion that you don't need a statin, you don't need to worry about your cholesterol if your hormones are all good, you don't have any inflammatory stuff going on. So, certain truth to that. But if you're all worried about your cholesterol, please don't. Usually, it's not worth worrying about. But for men, increasing their testosterone production, you use cholesterol to make testosterone. Men do. And if you can increase their testosterone production, not give them testosterone, but figure out why it's not working why they're not producing their own testosterone. I don't believe in menopause. I believe in vitaminopause. So, yeah, and you could have some pituitary damage or some damage in between your pituitary and your testicles. But if you figure out how to get their testosterone up, they'll pull that cholesterol through and down. Their levels will drop.
Yeah.
So women, once you go through menopause, not much you can do, but you can just make sure that you don't have a lot of inflammation and other stuff going on.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take a statin. Otherwise, statin is ezetimibe. You can take niacin, high-dose niacin, which is because of plaque regression. I take that 1,500 milligrams a day of the niacin. CRT from Design Trail, that's really good. You don't get flushed so much. You see me flushed a few times around here. I turn bright red.
It's so funny.
And when you talk about lowering cholesterol, you're talking specifically about cleaning your veins and arteries.
I don't know about cleaning is a good word, but it's called plaque regression.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything. I'm really into that. There are like 7 things, most of them natural, that you can do that cause plaque regression. But I threw everything into that bucket. I think there's 8 actually.
Yeah.
I need to write a book on that. But
any of these topics, I mean, just Google or look up online Dan Purser MD and the topic, and
You'll
I'm
find
sure
something.
there's some video, something of us already talking about it.
yeah, plaque regression is cool
Mm-hmm.
because the number one thing that's going to take us all off this rock, or not all of us, but the vast majority of people, is heart attack or stroke.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out how to get plaque regression and get that cholesterol chunks out of there, that plaque, it's a good thing.
I think our next live we should do a Stump the Doctor again, because I think we're just getting a lot of questions that are all over the place. So I think we should do a
Well, you want to do a 45-minute or hour Stump the Doctor.
just Stump the Doctor. So come ready with some questions, guys, for next Facebook Live or next live.
So you're picking the Facebook Live Stump the Doctor?
I decided Stump the
Oh,
Doctor.
gosh.
No, that's great. I know that was very popular with our past ones. That was one of our most viewed podcasts as well, actually, our most listened
Stump
to.
the Knucklehead. I mean, Stump the Doctor. Yeah, well, I've gotten old. I don't know if I can answer them now. Let me just drool on some of them.
You'll do your best, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah. wealth of useless medical knowledge. So,
Yeah.
okay, thank you very much, all of you, for watching, listening, hanging out. Enjoyed it. God bless, and go in good health. It's Dr. Dan Purser. Thanks.